All right, let's talk about Jameis Winston, who, love him or hate him, he's never boring, right? He was able to, really show some flashes early on this season. He had that game where he beat the Baltimore Ravens. In that game, he had 3 touchdowns and no interceptions, although he had a couple of dropped picks. Here, it is the other way around. He has no touchdowns, 3 interceptions, a passer rating of 42. There were still some positives. I'll start off with a positive play just because, why not, right? This one, it's a man coverage concept. It's a 3rd down and 10, and watch what's going to happen. Winston takes the snap right here. There's going to be pressure by the Chiefs. It's Chris Jones, because of course it is. Now, the player I'm circling now isn't. Chris Jones was the initial pressure. You see Winston, though, navigates it well. As you see, he makes a throw down the field, and Jerry Jeudy, is able to win his one-on-one matchup, makes the grab. So, yeah, some positives. I think that the kind of argument for why you would go with Jameis Winston is you can measure what you have in your other players. And, I think we have seen that where we've now seen, okay, Judy's a real guy. This play is another one where it's going to be a zone coverage concept. It's a cover 2 zone. You have a receiver running a deep shot, kind of a setup route. Judy's going to then go towards the sideline. Watch as when Winston takes the snap, you see that the Chiefs player is kind of in his zone, but he really needs to be getting over closer towards Jeudy at this point, not doing that. Because of this, Winston is able to hit him, and he's able to pick up a 1st down again. So Jeudy looked good. That's good to see. Jeudy's been worth his contract that everyone made fun of, including myself. But it's been good. That's been effective. There's some issues. We can get into the issues now. First, just some missed throws, which is, again, I'm a Tampa Bay fan. I followed Jameis Winston very closely for 5 seasons. One of the underrated negative parts of his game is he will just let throws get away from him. This play, it's, again, trying to get Jeudy open, underneath on a 3rd down and 4. The concept itself works. Jeudy is open. Not wide open, but yeah, there's an opportunity for Winston to make this throw. And that one is just off. I don't believe that was tipped. I believe that was just a missed throw. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that was just a missed throw. Just in general, though, this is what will happen, right? He'll let some get away from him, which is not ideal, but definitely not the biggest negative of his game. You have this one, which is a zone coverage concept. And again, early on in the game, you're down 7-0. If you score a touchdown on this drive, you're tied up. So this is very much still a game at this point. You have Elijah Moore running a route that sometimes these routes can get open. Usually they're just setup routes which push the safeties further deep, but every now and then neither safety really, comes in to cover him. They kind of both assume the other guy has him, and you can make this work. Here though, when Winston takes a snap, I don't know what he was even thinking making this throw. I have no idea, because you look down the field, this is so well covered. The only thing I can think of is he saw pre-snap that maybe it looked good and just didn't read that it's very much not good. As you see, the only question was which Kansas City Chief was going to intercept it there. Not a good play there by Jameis Winston. It just wasn't. So that was a bad interception. Not every turnover was bad. In fact, 2 of them, I think, were debatably, not his fault. This one, it's a 1st down and 10, zone coverage, just trying to throw a check down right here. You see Winston's going to take the snap. He runs a play action, and as of right here, okay, he has an open player. Obviously, if something further down the field was more open, Winston would throw it there. He's not going to turn down an opportunity to do something like that. But okay, doesn't love what he sees. Winston isn't a dummy. He's fine of throwing the check down. But you see here, the throw is a little bit off because I think Chubb kind of shifted a little bit closer to the top of the screen as Winston was throwing. It gets batted up and intercepted. Okay, that's a bad break. It kind of is what it is. Sometimes you have unlucky interceptions. It hurts the box score. I'm not going to crush him too much for something like this. And even his lost fumble on today, this one, where what's going to happen is it's a 3rd down and 5, so you want to make sure you hold on to the ball if you have to when you're down 21. So you need to make something happen. Watch the pressure off the edge right here. As you see, this is not going particularly well. The tackle, for a second I thought maybe he was trying to pick up the guy who was blitzing, but no, he just gets beat right here. Winston is in trouble. It's his blind side. He doesn't see it, and he's just getting ready to throw the football. Look, as you see, okay, maybe you could argue he could have noticed that pressure because he did step up a little bit. Credit to him for recovering the fumble. Those ones are always tough. When you're into throwing motion as you get hit, I'm always more forgiving of those than when you just get hit straight up because, you have to protect the football, but sometimes, bad luck does factor in. I don't know what you want to describe that, but it's certainly not the worst fumble you've seen from, really even from the Browns in this game. But let's go over here. This play. This is really, I mean, this is a bad play. It just is. And it's kind of understandable, but it's still a bad play. So it's a zone coverage concept, and the Browns have multiple receivers running deep shots right here. So that's the setup on this play. And again, if Winston has multiple deep shots, you better believe he's going to at least consider them. It's worth noting the game situation. I think we viewed this game as kind of a wire-to-wire blowout, but it doesn't have to be. If the Browns can get into the end zone, now they're only down 7 points with 13 minutes left. I mean, this is very much a ball game. So, the Chiefs seem to play everyone close. So, of course, you have a chance here, right? Winston's going to take the snap. There is pressure off the edge, but he navigates it well, gets outside the pocket, fires off balance. And, I mean, you see there are 2 Browns players to the 1 Chiefs player. So I think this is really just a jump ball trying to make something happen right here. But again, it's a first down and 10. It's just really not, it's not the chance you have to take here. If it's just a pure jump ball in the end zone, you don't have to throw that ball. It gets intercepted, and you see Jerry Jeudy is frustrated. And I mean, to some degree, it's just like the results have to matter. We can look at each individual play, and usually individual plays, there is going to be something to be said towards like, okay, there's a reason why you're doing this. There's a way it could go positively too. But at the end of the day, the Browns ended this game with 6 turnovers to the Chiefs 0. That's, again, I don't know off the top of my head, but that's one of the biggest disparities I've seen in quite some time, where one team has no turnovers, the other has 6. Obviously, 2 of those weren't Winston's fault. One of them was after he got benched. Dorian Thompson-Robinson threw an interception. Another was on a punt return that it was fumbled. So, okay, hard to blame Winston for those. But the other 4, again, if you don't want to say they're all his fault, at the end of the day, he just turned the ball over too much. And while there are other issues, you can live with those other issues. It's the Jameis Winston thing, right? And probably why he's never going to be a starting quarterback in this league unless there's injuries. He's now thrown 8 interceptions in the past 3 games. And some of those pick sixes, it's just not good enough. And it's what's costing him. What's costing him the job, potentially. I mean, he got benched in this game. So, yeah, it's not ideal here for the Cleveland Browns and for Jameis Winston, but it is still interesting to talk about, so you have that going for you, I suppose. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the Jameis Winston of it all. What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you, and of course, as always, thanks for watching.